Hi, my name is Alex, and today we'll be talking about some utility knives. Thanks for watching another episode. Today we will be going over some of the various types of utility knives that we have here at Korin Japanese Trading. Now, when it comes to utility knives, we are talking about a sort of a smaller knife that you use for smaller tasks. For a lot of the home chefs, especially, they actually prefer using some of the utility knives as their primary knife, because a lot of time when you're cutting things at home, things tends to be a lot smaller than you are when you work in a restaurant. Now, when it comes to for professional use, most of the chefs like to use a smaller knife to sort of do a lot of peeling, to sort of do a lot of herbs as well as small vegetables. Now, the first up, we have what is called a Petit knife. A Petit knife, it can range anywhere from sort of the 12 centimeter to around 15 centimeter, or sometimes even 11 centimeter long. Now, the name Petit actually comes from the French word Petit, which means small. Some people actually say that it comes from the English word petty, as in sort of a petty cash, petty crime. So also, again, something small. Now, a lot of the chefs like to use this knife because it's a lot more agile and very nimble in sort of especially in a lot of the smaller kitchen spaces. It's not as bulky as using a chef knife to cut something that's very small, such as a herb and smaller vegetables. In terms of the Petit knives that we carry here at Korin, you can go something as soft as something along the line of the Misono handmade line, which is going to be very comfortable for somebody who's just starting to learn how to sharpen. Or you can even go as hard as something like the Nanox or the UX10. Now, to find out more about how to sharpen these knives, we'll have a link included down below in the description. It will link you to our Petit knife sharpening video. Now, one type of Petit knife that I do want to go over in particular is these kind of offset Petit knives. And in this one in particular is a glue stain offset. As you can see here, the glue stains are hollow grounded. If you have watched our previous videos, you will know that the hollow grounding basically keeps the material from sticking to the knife itself. Now, what makes this offset Petit special is that usually when you have a Petit knife such as this Togiharu, the blade itself is much thinner. So therefore, when you are working on the cutting board, it does not leave any room for your knuckle. I, for one, have a very small hand, and for me, this is really, there's no way for me to sort of chop on the cutting board with this. Now, that's why we have the offset here, which sort of raises the handle above the blade itself, gives you room to grab onto the blade, and you can do very, very small chopping on this. Now, this is very useful for a lot of times when you're doing sort of dicing potatoes and such, is that when you are doing that, you can also dice as well as portioning up the potato itself. Next up, I want to talk about the paring knives. The paring knives are even smaller than the Petit knives. As you can see over here, the paring knives are meant to do a lot of the off-cutting board work, such as peeling, taking off the top of a mushroom, or to carve. This knife is actually very, very useful in a lot of the kitchens, since a lot of times they need to do a lot of these kind of tedious work, but more so maybe in a professional kitchen than in a home kitchen, since a lot of the home chefs can use the Petit knife for the exact same purpose. The unique shape of the tourné knife is meant to help you do the tourné cut better. Now, of course, a lot of chefs actually do the tourné cut with the paring knife. That's totally fine as well. But if you do want something that's going to be more task specific, the tourné knife is the choice to go. I hope you find this episode to be useful. If you would like more specific information about any of these Petit knives or paring knives, please click on the link down below. It will take you to our Korin product page. And I'll see you in the next episode.